my name is Sanaa Kelley. I'm a Foley artist and the owner of Foley Sound. Today I'm going to talk a little bit what is Foley, why do we need Foley, and show you a little demo. So Foley is the performed part of sound. Every sound you hear in a movie, TV show, animation, video games is usually created in a Foley stage by a Foley artist. So, and Foley is really the performed part of sound. We have sound effects, we have backgrounds, and Foley actually performs it. So every footstep you hear, any hand touch, kissing is done by a Foley artist. When I first got introduced to Foley, I was really confused, like, why do we need Foley? And they're recording this while they're filming. And it was explained to me that when they say quiet in the set, they literally make the set quiet. For example, if I'm an actor and I'm walking, I'm wearing high heels, the microphone will pick up the high heels louder than my voice, so then the actor has to come in and do ADR or redo their lines. So what they do, they put things on the feet to make the heels quieter. Or if I'm talking to you guys and I'm eating the potato chips, you're gonna hear the bag of the potato chips and like chips itself much louder than the dialogue. So they have to make everything look like they're real because they know it's gonna be fixed in post, Foley. And then the other reason for it is when it goes to the foreign market, is when they take out the dialogue, like the hand touches, all the sound will get taken out even if the production is clean. So that's why they have it. If they need it, they use it. If the production is clean, they also use it. When we're done with Foley, we give it to the dubbing mixer, which mixes the Foley, the effects, backgrounds, music, dialogue, and everything together, and it shows up on the screen. For animation, obviously, there is no sound with it. Everything is like we get a blank canvas and we just fill it in. So basically, that's what Foley is, and it's a fun, very active job. And we have to, most of the time, work with clothes that don't make much noise because every part of our body is basically mic'd. The first thing I usually do is I do a cloth pass where I would sit and, let me see, a cloth here. I would get a cloth and I'll put headphones on, listen to production to see what's going on, get into the story. Because like I said earlier, it's a performed part of sound. So if someone is sad, their footstep is going to sound different. Like I'm not going to be hyper as I'm walking. There's going to be a slight scuff to my foot. If I'm happy, if the actor is happy, I have to do like a little upbeat to their step. So I'm performing everything that's going on screen. And also, I'm paying attention to how far is the camera capturing the actor, like the directors, producers, everyone involved in the film. They paid attention to the little details, and I have to be able to perform it and make it in sound. So if you close your eyes, you're able to feel the emotion. So right now, we're gonna have some samples. Warner Brothers gave us some of their shows to be able to do demos. So thank you, Warner Brothers. We're gonna see which scene we're gonna be working with. It's coming up now. This is the cleaning lady. So in here, obviously I've seen it before, we've done it. So the first thing I would normally do is I'm gonna move the mic. Oh, use this one? Oh, this one's not working? All right, perfect, so. We're gonna roll with the punches. We're gonna use this one. Let's see if it captures that. If not, we're gonna skip it. You can't hear it much. So basically, I know a guy is coming in, so I'll do his cloth. I'm listening to what's going on. And after I'm done with the cloth, I'm gonna put it down. Usually this mic works. And I know he's wearing a man's dress shoe, so I can't put him in sneakers. So I have to go through. I usually have a huge suitcase of shoes to match whatever the actor is wearing. So we're gonna just give him a nice shoe that I know hopefully the mic will pick up. If not, I'm pretty loud walker. I'm known in the industry as Little Godzilla. Because the thing behind it, 28 years ago when I started, there's a stigma between women in sound, and, it's hard to get into the business. And of course, I go to work, I'm trying to do man footsteps. They're like, but you're so little. I'm like, close your eyes and test me. Let's see if I could do it. So I'm known as Baby Godzilla because of it. Let's see this. Huh? Wow, it's kind of loud. Okay, we could kind of hear it. So that was not the perfect sync, but it was okay. If you guys are not in post, I did great. So we always, if I miss a step, it's okay. We'll fix it in post. No, we'll just redo it again. Usually we just go and do it again. And if it's a bigger budget, if it's usually a big budget, we have editors that go after and make us perfect. But the main thing between doing Foley versus cutting it is you gotta capture the emotion. So I already know this guy was like kind of sneaking in, so I have to do that with my feet in front of the mic without moving away. And then we'll go through and do his pockets. This mic is not great to capture in pockets. I would just normally just go like this, do the pockets. I would actually have a suit to do the hands in pockets. So every little detail is important. Another scene here. I think you could hear the high heels better here. So just because she's wearing super high heels, I don't necessarily have to wear high heels. They just have to sound like high heels. And I put duct tape here. Oh, thank you for shutting off the AC. I could hear better. I put duct tape here because I know there's like a high end that's usually harder for the mixers to mix in. Okay, make sure I don't kill you guys' ears. So normally with this scene, we have to match the surfaces. In my Foley stages, I have all kinds of surfaces in front of me. So if they're walking on wood, we don't on wood. If it's indoors versus outdoors, it's mic differently. It's more like, do we put more baffles, left baffles? How far is the mic? We also work with two mics. If she's coming from far to close, I have my mixer, Erica, right there. She usually has the room mic, the close mic, and the reverb mic, the reverb at the same time. Indoor will have reverb, outdoor will not, depending on the situation. So now we're gonna go and do him. It'd be really funny to do him in heels. Yesterday we were practicing and people were chuckling because I did him in heels. And I have different man shoe. If the other one had this shoe, this guy will have a different shoe because every character will have a different shoe. Because if you don't do it, then you're not really performing. They could just cut it. Or I should say AI it. So every little shuffle they do is important. We have to capture. They're actually a little harder to do because you have to make them sound dynamic. So, so in here we have the same actor. He's walking from indoor to outdoors. So to do from indoor to outdoors, usually outdoors, we use a little bit of coffee because it sells like it's cement. So every little detail matters. Usually from inside, I'll make the mic further away. Outdoors is closer because it's less reverb. So if it goes from angle to angle, we have to stop it, repunch. And our goal is, even if there's a bad cut, you gotta make it smoothly so it doesn't get caught, like your eye doesn't go to it. In here, we have Kung Fu, another one of Warner Brothers shows. She's training here. It's really hard to do scenes like this. We usually break it up into sections. Again, we'll do cloth movement. We'll see what's going on with the scene, and we have to act it out. I know she's wearing sneakers. And you can't just wear any sneakers that you like these are really comfortable, but they don't sound good for Foley. So you have to know all your shoes and be ready to do anything. Tap dancing, ballet dancing, anything they throw at you, you gotta be able to do it. And I think we have some Foley artists here. Maybe they could join us in a bit. And then once we do one character, we go back and do the other one, the bottles, anything that goes on. So that's pretty much, we're showing you a lot of footsteps today. I don't know what Erica has. Oh, okay. We're changing a little video. So some fun things about Foley. I don't know if the mic is gonna capture it. But like if there's, in here she has dog footsteps. Okay, for dog footsteps, the way I usually do it is, I worked on, back in the day, Clifford the Big Red Dog, so I had a lot of dogs to do. So the main thing with dogs is, if you have multiple dogs, you don't want them to sound the same. It's almost like footsteps. So one will have, with clips, so paper clips usually sound really good for dog nails. Some of them will have actual nails, so different sounds. So I know this is a little guy, and I'm gonna have to pick up the nails. And again, if it was on my Foley stage, it'll be on cement. I'll throw a little bit of leaves, and coffee grounds sound really great. I prefer medium roast, not because of taste, sometimes it's because of taste, but the reason I like it is it doesn't have that much oil in it, so when you're walking on it, it doesn't leave the greasy residue that would actually change the sound. Those are always fun. And then, again, if it was in a real situation, I'll do her footsteps, I'll do the cloth, and usually the dogs have a little chain all around their neck, the little collar, so I would add that too. Not just consistent, just move it with the step. Anytime there's little head bounce, that's when you do a little jingle. And here, the Erica has some heels. For heels, the cool thing is, you get to buy a lot of pretty shoes when you're doing Foley. Some of them are not very pretty. And sometimes you have those clients that really want you to go method and buy really expensive shoes, which is really great because I love shoes. And to be honest, on my social media, Real Foley Sound, sometimes I compare A and B. Okay, it's a $5 shoe versus a $1,500 shoe. Which one sounds better? And I noticed people 50-50. I don't hear much of a difference, but if the client is happy, they're always right. Oh, she's slow motion, okay. I'm way faster than her. And then when you have the right kind of mic, you're not gonna just hear just one, you wanna hear a heel toe. So when you put it in the mix, it sounds more full-bodied, and we have to walk in front of the mic. We can't walk away from it. So in here, the struggle we have is we have a suitcase that's walking forward away from us. I think they kept my suitcase. All right, so we don't have a suitcase. So if we had a suitcase here, I can't take it forward. I have to get a suitcase and roll it and match the rolling. And if you see there's like lines on the street, every time it hits a line, I have like on my cement, on my stages, I have lines. So you could hear the tick-tick on it every time it hits. So every little detail we pay attention to because we believe they picked that scene for a reason. They like the floors, so we have to respect it. And when we do the sound, we have to pay attention to everything. Zombies, in here we have, they're always fun. Worked for a few Warner Brothers, Fear the Walking Dead, so I'm pretty much an expert at zombies at this point. Sometimes we're so tired doing those zombies, it just comes naturally, just dragging our feet and walking. So zombies are fun, fun, fun. And with zombies, even if they're in a clean surface, I always tend to put a little grit, which is like coffee, in their feet. I just feel like they're decomposing as they're walking, and I never get a complaint, so I usually do that. We're not doing it here, but that's how we usually do it. They literally keep me on my toes. Okay, this one, I think I'm gonna need some volunteers to help me with some dancing. Come on up. Anyone else? Anyone else wanna dance? Come on up. Okay, so first we'll watch it once. Who wants to go here? Who wants to be heard the most? Okay. She's like, yes. No, you keep them on. We're gonna put some heels on. I'll put some heels on, and we're going to be your background dancers. Okay. You're going to be the foreground dancer. Okay. So you have to do what she does, and then, that one. So Erica will play it for us so we could kind of see it. This is just practice. Step. Ooh, you think it's good. Wow. Wow, okay. Oh my gosh. Hired. That was impressive. Yeah, you go next. Come on. Oh. Yeah. Now you got to beat that.
I know.
I'll help you. I'm here with you. You got it. You did good and you looked good doing it. So the dancing, for example, the dancing, we'll have one person do the main character. So it's usually in a Foley session, there's two of us. It's usually me and my Foley partner right there, Matt Talib, that's pretending not to be an artist. Funny story, I was judged for being too little, that I couldn't do the bigger people, and he was judged that he couldn't do little kids and women. So for example, the show Ted Lasso, I did all the men, he did all the sexy women. So he's really good. We both got good at being big. I got good at being big. He got good at being small. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So yeah. For this one, let's say it's a snow scene. We don't have snow. A lot of times for a bigger budget, we could afford to bring snow in. One of the last shows we did for Warner Brothers, we got like 250 pounds of snow. which was, you have to pay attention to the scene. Okay, the scene is a little more slushy. This is more hard packed. So we go through and do it. So for here, we don't have the snow with us. So what we're gonna do, there's ways to fake it. There's charcoal for like really icy kind of snow. But since this is a fluffy snow, we're gonna use cornstarch in a pillowcase. It sounds like really nice snow. So we just sit here and do this little guy. And then we're gonna end it with a nice little smooch. So for kissing, any volunteers? All right, fine, I'll just kiss my hand. Okay, so for kissing scenes, I'm gonna use this mic here. We don't do the actually smack, we just do the releases. They're actually harder than you think because you don't want them too like high-endy because then it's gonna sound like a mistake. So you have to make them a little juicier without sounding sloppy. Okay. If that makes sense. So here we go. So the kisses in the lips is different than in the forehead. Juicy, not too juicy. You don't want to sound like a mistake. Yeah. And that's it. That's basically Foley. Thank you, guys.